Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. In this video, I want to show how the APC corruption makes the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, looks like kindergarten in corruption business. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. And we are pegging it on the latest revelation by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on the biggest haul of property they have ever seen from one individual since it was created in 2003. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first people. God bless you. Now, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission recently announced its largest asset recovery since its establishment in 2003. The recovered assets located in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, is an estate spanning 150,500 square meters and comprising 753 units of duplexes and other apartments. The estate is situated on plot 109, Cadastre Zones C09, Lokogoma District, Abuja. Now, this followed a ruling delivered on December 2, 2024 by Justice Jude Onwuebuzie. On November 1, 2024, the judge had given an order of interim forfeiture on the property. Now, a statement by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission's head of media and publicity, Dele Oyewale, said the property was owned by a former top branch of the government. While the EFCC, or the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, did not name the owner, Sahara reporters claimed that it belonged to former Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele, who has been under investigation and prosecution by the Anti-Corruption Agency. The EFCC, or the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, calls it the biggest forfeiture since its creation in 2003. It therefore confirms that the All Progressive Congress had been more corrupt than the PDP they displaced from power because of corruption and, of course, insecurity. You know that one of the key points that they used in driving PDP out of power was that the PDP was very corrupt, that the Jonathan administration was corrupt, and PDP in general was corrupt. So corruption was one of the reasons that PDP was driven out of power, and their dream of being in power for 60 years was aborted by the APC because of corruption. But corruption has gotten worse under APC than in PDP. Now, for now, Emefiele is the fall guy of the APC. APC have been very corrupt, as you can see officially by Transparency International report. Since APC took over government, they have been more corrupt than the PDP by Transparency International. Now, if that is the case, why is it that it's only Emefiele that are being presented as if he's the fall guy? Like the fall guy, he's the only one who was corrupt in over 8 years of APC in power. How is that possible? Right, it's only Emefiele. That's what I want to prove. That APC in general, their government was corrupt, more corrupt than the PDP. And I'm using the data from Transparency International. I didn't make up this data. This data I'm using is from Transparency International. You can look at it on your screen. We're going to go deep into it so that you see that corruption was more under APC and has remained so. Now, MFLA's sin, as far as I can see, was for having the temerity to contest for the presidency or show interest. Of course, he later chickened out. There was the allegation that he had intention. There were allegations that he had intention of contesting for president. And then, after that his intention was aborted, he allegedly didn't support the APC presidential candidate in the election. Probably looking at the body language of the president, Muhammad Buhari, who it was alleged didn't want Tinubu to be the presidential candidate of the APC. It was alleged that Tinubu actually backed Senate president at that time, Ahmad Lawan, which was insensitive of Buhari. Because after 8 years of a northerner himself, Buhari, being president, he still wanted another northerner to take over from him, Ahmad Lawan, the then Senate president. That shows you how insensitive he was. But perhaps that was what made MFLA to sort of didn't support the APC presidential candidate. Because many people are believing that if he had supported the APC, show much support to the candidate of the party, perhaps he wouldn't be in trouble as he is today. So he's believed to be paying the price of flowing against the tide in his party, allegedly. Now, we all know that before the election, there is no presidential candidate that talks about fighting corruption like Peter Obi of the Labour Party. And the people of Nigeria believed him. He was the one that has the support of the people when it comes to the issue of corruption, fighting corruption. He was squeaky clean. There is nothing to stain him. But that you can't say that about the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, or the presidential candidate of the APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. While none of them have been convicted in Nigeria, both Tinubu and Atiku Abubakar, before the 2023 election, all you have to do is type their name, go to Google, type Tinubu and corruption. Go to Google, type Tinubu and corruption. You will see all kinds of allegations from several quarters. Type Atiku Abubakar and corruption. You will see so much that you can't be able to finish in one day reading. But in terms of Peter Obi, he was pretty clean. He was the one that people believe can fight corruption. And to be fair to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he didn't make much. He didn't peg his campaign about fighting corruption. He was much more concerned about saying that he will continue where Buhari stopped. And Buhari himself will make noise about corruption, about anti-corruption. Corruption got worse under his administration. Corruption was worse under his administration, as we are going to see from Transparency International report. Okay? Even when you look at, you can say, okay, is it MFL only? Then what about this, this Mrs. Edu, the former Minister of Humanitarian Affairs from Cross River State, who was suspended and is unlikely to return anytime soon because her position had already been taken. Although Cross River State, I don't think they have any minister now. But what I'm saying is that her greatest undoing, as far as I can see, was trying to investigate the former minister by trying to clean up that place. When she entered, when the minister of Misedu entered, she was trying to clean up the place. But it was in trying to do that, she entered into trouble with those who she was trying to, to clean out of the system. Those people now use the system against her too, and today she's paying the price for it. I don't see that as an indication that the APC is fighting corruption. Agreed, EFCC have to do their job. Whichever party is in power, the truth of the matter remains. From the record, from what EFCC have just told us about this big estate, and what Transparency International has shown us from their records, APC is more corrupt than PDP. That is what we are saying in this video. And we are not making it up. We are using data from reliable source, Transparency International, to back up our claim. And we are using EFCC claiming that what they got, that building, that property, that was forfeited to them by top brass of an APC government, of the APC government, is an indication that APC have been and is more corrupt than the PDP that they chase out of power because of corruption. Now, as I said earlier on, Nigeria's poor record in corruption by Transparency International cannot be solely because of CBN governor, former CBN governor, MFA. I do not think so. Now on your screen, look at your screen, is the corruption ranking of Nigeria by Transparency International 2012 to 2021. Note that Transparency International ranked 180 countries from around the world on perception of public sector corruption. In 2021, the corruption perception index of Nigeria rose to 154, which Transparency International described as the worst since 2012. In 2020, now let us look at this in context. In 2021, the corruption perception index of Nigeria rose to 154, the worst since 2012. Now, who was president in 2021? It was the APC, it was Muhammad Buhari. And they said that what the corruption index was in 2021 was worse than 2012. 2012 was a very bad year of corruption for Nigeria, and that was under Jonathan. Okay? But Jonathan improved on corruption perception index of Nigeria by the time he was leaving in 2015. Now, if you look at your screen, you will see that in 2020, Nigeria was ranked 149. Now, the most improved position when Nigeria was 136. This was registered 2014 to 2016. That was under Jonathan, which was the period of Jonathan and PDP in power. While the 2012 Transparency International corruption index was bad, okay, even though it was only 139, it was only 139 ranking that Nigeria was at that time. Jonathan reduced the level of corruption and left it as 136. And that has been the best performance of Nigeria. The best performance of Nigeria in terms of fighting corruption has been under Jonathan. And Nigeria was ranked 136 out of 180 countries. While Buhari was making noises about fighting corruption, they even crowned him African. I used to crack up when I think about it. They call him African Union humored him by making him the African corruption champion. It was laughable. And then they did all this thing knowing fully well the record of Nigeria at Transparency International. I think African Union think that when you talk about corruption too much, you must be squeaky clean. They were misled. They ought to have looked at the record by Transparency International that does this job of corruption perception every year. And it's not affiliated to any political group. While Buhari was making noises about fighting corruption, under Tinubu as president has not been at every opportunity talking about fighting corruption. I think he has been very careful in always talking about corruption like Buhari. But whatever may be the case, that does not stop the fact that the APC perform poorly in corruption than PDP. Now look at how Nigeria was ranked. You can also see it on your screen. I keep emphasizing on that. So they can go and go to Transparency International, go and cross-check, or go and verify, as Mr. Peter Obi used to say. Now, in 2017, Nigeria was ranked 148. In 2018, Nigeria was ranked 144. In 2019, Nigeria was ranked 146 in corruption out of 180 countries. In 2020, Nigeria was ranked 149. In 2021, Nigeria was ranked 154. That these figures I read out to you from Transparency International confirm that APC is the most corrupt government. The APC government since 2015 has been the most corrupt government this country has ever had since Transparency International started the recording of corruption in Nigeria. Now, after the 2023 general election, a survey conducted and published by the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, in collaboration with the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, revealed that Nigeria's public officials under the APC administration received 721 billion cash bribes in 2023. I want this thing to sink in so that people don't think that we concoct these figures by ourselves. After the 2023 general election, a survey conducted and published by the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, in collaboration with United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, revealed Nigeria's public officials received 721 billion cash bribes in 2023, and judges topped the list of the recipients. In other words, saying that Nigerian judges are the most corrupt Nigerians. They are the most corrupt public sector in Nigeria. Out of the 721 billion bribe that was collected in cash, this one they say in cash. This is National Bureau of Statistics and UNIDO. This is cash. They didn't want it to pass through banks so that they will not be traced. They talked about cash. Cash. Ghana must move from one point to the other, point A to point B. 721 billion cash in 2023. And judges topped the list of the recipients. The 160-page report titled Corruption in Nigeria, Patterns and and trends, published in July 2024, makes for sobering reading indeed. If you are in doubt that APC have been the most corrupt government in Nigeria's democratic history, if you doubt it, please give us alternative figures. Cite your own sources outside Transparency International. Don't forget that corruption has been with Nigeria, but it has gotten worse under the APC. We are not saying that corruption has not been there in Nigeria. In the military coup of Major Zogo, if you read his speech, he talked about that the coup was to get rid of the 10% tax, those who collect 10% to award contract. But what we have now under PDP and APC, we don't even talk about the 10%. We talk about 100%. They don't even execute the contract at all. If they do, they don't. Some people just, the contract will be budgeted, but it will not be executed. Okay, so APC, PDP, they are all guilty on this. But currently, APC, from the figure we have shown you, they are more corrupt than the PDP. And the EFCC confirmed it by saying that they have recovered the biggest property ever since its creation. And that property was allegedly owned by somebody who belonged to their party. And it happened under their administration. So, but if you think that PDP was more corrupt, please provide your data and your sources at the comment section. Let's hear from you. And also you can look at what are the consequences of the kind of corruption going on in Nigeria today. The consequences for Nigeria's development. I wrote a book, it's on Amazon, that have dwelt on the issue of corruption in Nigeria, which the making of a fantastically corrupt country. The making of a fantastically corrupt country. It's a good read. It has been on Amazon for some time. You can check it out if you care about corruption in Nigeria. I did some work on that. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.